Go to I think I'm live now. I am, I think. Okay, I am live. Let's see. Sure. Everything looks good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. Cool. Testing, testing. All right, hey guys, what's going on? Can you guys hear me okay? I don't know if, let me check my Discord to see if this. Okay. Hmm. Not really sure. Make me a mod loser. How do I make you a mod? I click on this. Add moderator. Here we go. You are now a moderator to the channel, Matt. Thanks. How does the sound how does it sound, Matt? Thank you. I can drop your links. What do you mean you can drop my links? I don't really like how this is like over here. Maybe I'll move this over here. Then I can like maybe it's a little better having it over here. No, that's kind of sucks over there too. Okay, so it sounds good. Okay, cool. What's up, guys? As you know, I am Brian. Today I will see who actually comes in, who actually is interested in what we're gonna be doing today. But this will be our start of our new. Like I'm gonna be doing like a tech news show, kind of just talking about the latest tech that's coming out, the latest, just kind of, just like the news that's popping up, like new releases that's gonna be coming out, new games that'll be coming, not games, but like new graphics cards, CPUs, that kind of stuff. Obviously like issues that are going on throughout the industry and that kind of stuff. So any questions that you guys might have as well, or just in general, if you need questions on builds or whether you should pick up a certain cooler or anything, you can ask me at this point in time as well. So it's kind of gonna, we'll kind of see how the actual how it actually goes, and we'll see kind of like what kind of spawns from this kind of live stream. But I plan on doing one at least once every couple weeks. If you guys enjoy the actual live streams, then we'll move on to like once every week, and we'll go from there, and we'll see kind of like, basically from there we'll play it by ear. We do have a Discord, so my brother just dropped it into the chat. So if you're interested in joining the Discord, go ahead and join in there. We just started it last weekend. So the goal is just basically to, again, it's gonna be a spot for you guys can go to get suggestions on PC builds, questions on different peripherals, that kind of stuff, just questions in general if you're having issues with your computer or trying to troubleshoot it, and kind of stuff like that. And hopefully we can build that into a nice community where a lot of people are helping out, a lot of people are helping make sure that everybody is, not getting crappy components, which is my main goal and main reason why I'm on YouTube in the first place, that I want to make sure that you guys aren't getting bad parts, basically, because I've been around for a while when it comes to building PCs, and I've seen a lot of people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to just not building a computer, or either overspending on poor parts, or just underspending and getting really cheap components and just kind of and having to replace parts after a few years or whatever. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to like the news. So we're gonna start off by talking to, hold on. There was this big, if you guys haven't heard of it yet, there's a pretty big accusations going on. MSI has been in a lot of trouble lately. So MSI is one of the big, if you're newer here, MSI is a pretty big manufacturer for both AMD and Nvidia, and they make a lot of motherboards. They make a lot of stuff on the market right now when it comes to building PCs, and they again got caught being in trouble doing some stuff they probably shouldn't have been. And this time around, though, there's accusations that they may have been kind of inflating their price on one of their third-party subsidiaries, which is a huge issue. So they had a subsidiary. Um, it's called Starlit Partner. It's called, and it was on eBay, and they basically were selling, as you can see right here, they were selling the Gaming X Trio RTX 3080, which if you've been following the 3080 or the 3090, you probably know that there is absolutely nobody, like there's none available. You can't get them anywhere. You could try to get them online. Bots are picking them up. If you go to the stores, usually there's, a couple coming in per week. So they were actually selling the MSI, again, they were selling their cards for almost double the price, which is absolutely insane. So anyways, 4 users purchased them, as you can see right here. And then they were caught basically last night, and MSI basically came out and said, "Oh, my bad. It was a subsidiary. They weren't supposed to have the cards, and they did anyway. We're doing an investigation, and that's not how we wanted to handle things. Anybody who purchased the cards can get a refund, or they can get a refund to bring it down to MSRP instead of, double the price, basically." So it's a pretty nasty kind of issue. I know I recommend a lot of MSI products. I really like a lot of their products that they have, motherboards they come out with. They usually come out with good quality components, but when you're doing these kind of shady practices, it really kind of hurts, in general, kind of hurts the market, because nobody wants to work with you if you're going to be taking these kind of approaches. And we'll see what Nvidia does to hammer out, put down the hammer on MSI, see what they do in general, to see if they let MSI handle it themselves, or if they come in and they intervene to make sure that this doesn't happen again, which again is an awful thing for anybody who's been trying to get the RTX 3080. I know I have, and it's been really hard to find it. So it's just a really rough situation all around. As for so moving on from that, we can go into like the RTX 3070 performance numbers. So the RTX 3070 performance numbers, these are all leaks, so we don't know if these are going to actually be 100% true. But basically, Nvidia pushed back the release date to the 29th. I think it was supposed to come out the 17th, so in 10 days from now. But they pushed it back to the 29th, which is one day after AMD's announcement for RDNA 2. And this is just kind of like a leak of what their performance numbers should be. And I did some math here, and I just to kind of give some idea of like whether or not this leak is accurate at all. But basically down here, they're saying that the relative performance should be about 108% faster than the 2080 Ti. Now, the 3080 is about 25% faster than the 2080 Ti at 4K. And it's about 10% faster at 1080p. This is based on, I don't have the card, so I haven't tested it, but this is basically based on all the reviews I've watched and all the reviews I've checked out. And what doesn't make sense is if you look into this one right here, let me scroll down to show you guys. If you look at the CUDA cores and the Tensor cores and the RT cores, the 3070, just strictly, it has about 66% of what the 3080 has. So theoretically, now it's not going to be how it actually works, but it's basically about 66% of teraflops when it comes to performance as well. So theoretically, it should be 66% the speed of the 3080 and such and so forth. So that means basically it should actually be slower than the RTX 2080 Ti, and not 8% faster. Now, this could be strictly ray tracing performance, which I imagine you can see ray tracing in this right here. It's 108%. 105% control. It actually says down 1% on RTX, which is kind of interesting because it's supposed to have more efficient cores and such. So this is going to be something I wanted to talk about, because for anybody who's waiting for the 3070, who wants to build that RTX 3070 build that I suggested a few weeks ago for the parts list, I think it's really important to wait for the 3070 numbers, especially if you already have a 2080 Ti or something and you want to upgrade it. Well, I guess I don't know why you'd be upgrading if you had the 2080 Ti already, but if you if you want to get the 3070, I would definitely highly recommend waiting for performance numbers, because of the fact that there's a good chance that it's not going to perform as much as well as the 2080 Ti already does. And the 2080 Ti has more RAM, so more VRAM, that is. So if you can actually find a decently priced 2080 Ti, that might actually be the better option going into the release of the 3070, just based off of, again, what the numbers I just mentioned to you, which is theoretically, since it has only 66% of the Tensor cores, CUDA cores, and the RT cores, theoretically it should only be 66% as fast as the 3080, if that makes any sense whatsoever to you guys. So, yeah, and then on top of that, you're gonna also have to look at the fact that if you're going to be playing at 1080p, you're probably going to be bottlenecked by your CPU anyway. So that's a whole nother issue, because unless you're actually playing at 1440p or 4K, you're probably not going to actually realize the gains that you would get from even, again, from getting the 37 in the first place. So that's like a big thing here, because it's really going to depend on your situation. If you want to buy the 3070 for future build, or I hate the word future proof, but for future proofing your build, then yeah, that's great. But if you're buying it for now, it might not be the best option. Instead, waiting for the RTX 3060 or the 3060 Ti, which hold on one second. I think it's in this one right here. Yeah, it is right here. So, excuse me. The 3060 Ti is expected, supposedly, again, these are all leaks, so we have to take them with a grain of salt, but supposedly they will be released mid-November here. So it's not that far away. I don't know exactly when they'll be ready to be picked up, or I guess if it says mid-launch, or it's launch date, so theoretically it would be mid-November. Anyway, for those of you who want to play at 1080p, the 3060 Ti, or what AMD offers, if depending on what AMD does for their stack of their lineup, the 3060 Ti might be a better bet for you guys than getting a 3070, especially if you're going to be playing again at 1080p, just due to the fact that we can see there is some sort of, it's going to be a bottleneck if you're getting the 3070 depending, at 1080p in some games, as we saw in a lot of things. And then there's also suspected, you can see right here too, we're suspected to see a 16 gigabyte 3070 and then a 20 gigabyte 3080. My anticipation would be that the 20, I don't know exactly what the price is going to be for the 3080 or the 3070, 16 gig and 20 gig respectively. I think I said that backwards, but I don't know. I'm really interested to see how those perform, because I don't think the 3070, 16 gig, both those sound like productivity cards to me more than anything else. They don't really necessarily sound like gaming cards. Maybe 4K, yes, but they don't really sound as much like gaming cards as I would imagine, because again, the 3090 doesn't have a big performance lift over the 3080, and more so you get the performance lift from what'd you say, Matt? Compared to consoles, how far behind are they to the PC stuff? The consoles, so I think that's a good question. It's gonna be hard to tell until the consoles actually come out. Theoretically, the CPUs that are gonna be in both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are equivalent to like what the 3700X is, kind of. It's like a downclocked version. It's an 8-core, 16-thread processor. I don't remember the actual clock speeds, but it's basically a slower version of the 3700X, which is a it's like a $300 CPU. So if you went to like, Micro Center right now, it's a $300 CPU. As for the actual performance of, let me see if I can find the performance of PS5 teraflops. As for the performance of the PS5, theoretically it's supposed to be 10 teraflops of speed. Now, this is an AMD RDNA 2, so you can't really compare it to an NVIDIA card, because teraflops are different. It's just not, it's like comparing apples to oranges kind of. But theoretically, if you did compare them, this gives you 20 teraflops. The RTX 3070 does. So you're still looking at like a $500 graphics card. You're looking at like double the graphic performance, like theoretically, than the PS5. And then again, it's almost double. It's basically double the teraflops for the Xbox Series X as well, because that's supposed to be about 12 teraflops. Now it's going to be based on how they actually utilize it and such. That's a big deal too. But I think that's going to be I made a video, I think it was earlier this week, about why you shouldn't build a PC right now. And I think one of my reasons was that I think there's going to be sales this holiday season for PC components. And the reason why that's important, the reason why I think that is because I think the consoles are going to really intrigue people, because I think in general you're going to be getting like maybe 4K 30 to 60 FPS on the consoles, while yes, you'll be able to get that with these cards, but it's going to also cost you a lot more. So that's why I think the 37 or the 3060 Ti right here is going to be so critical when it comes to PC gaming because is getting a 3070 for 14. Yeah, but anyways, let me finish that and then I'll answer your question, True Star. Um, that's why I think the 3060 Ti is gonna be so important because if they can sell it for like $300 and you can put together a $300 to $400 system around that, so like a $600 to $700 system total, you would have a really good competitive offer against the consoles, providing that they will perform what theoretically they will perform. But until they actually come out and we actually get to see how they perform, it's going to be, it's just like all of these. These are all speculations. We can imagine things are going to happen or performance is going to be boosted or whatever. And until we get the actual raw performance numbers, we'll not know. As for is the 3070 for 1440p wise, I think it is. I think 1440p. I think the 3070 is good card for 1440p or 1080 or 4K. I think 1080p is kind of 1080p high refresh. I could get behind that, but then you're gonna have to have a really solid CPU that's gonna be able to push the frames. I think the 3070 is gonna really bottleneck the 1080p quite a bit. So yeah, so to answer your question, generally, I think the 1440p 3070, great idea. I think you'd be wise for 1440p or 4K. If you want to use RTX, then I think 1080p can be doable. I think it's fine, but there's not a lot of games that have RTX either. So, it really depends on that as well. So you're curious if the $500 price point is even worth upgrading in the future, which for like the consoles, Matt, or for like the RTX 3070. I guess my question is, can you elaborate on your question? I'm still kind of confused on what you mean. So for the consoles, like, is the $500 price point worth it for the consoles? If you're asking, sorry, that big flick. If you're asking if the $500 price point for the consoles is good, I would say absolutely. Again, the 3700X is a 8-core 16-thread processor. It's an 8-core 16-thread processor. That's a $300 chip, right? So if you even downclocking it, you're getting. I mean, this is just if you're doing like analytical wise, you're putting the stuff together. The $300 chip. So you even with the downclock, you're looking at like maybe a $200 chip, $180 chip. And then you have to add obviously the GPU, which is RDNA 2. So I'm not sure, the 10 teraflops, even if it's $250 GPU. I mean, I generally, yes, I think the consoles are really, really aggressively priced. Like when I first looked at like the actual specs for both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, I was really impressed with what they were going to offer. Especially since I'm pretty sure the PS5 is let me check. PS5, I think it comes with a 1 terabyte SSD. It's 500 gigs or 1 terabyte. No. Yeah, so it's giving you a 1 terabyte SSD on top of that. And SSD right now, 1 terabyte, not even as good as this one, would cost you, just a normal one, a PCIe 3, that's gonna cost you $100. So again, yeah, I think the prices that Sony and the Xbox Series X, Microsoft, they're targeting some really aggressive price points. And I think for those people who aren't convinced that they want a PC, they just kind of want to have a gaming console, I think it's a great option. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's actually out and it's performing, but we'll see when that happens. And then True Star said, the exclusives like God of War, like, I mean, that alone is worth getting the PlayStation 5. I mean, the reboot of God of War on the PlayStation 4 was absolutely incredible. As you probably know, Matt, I have like the God of War version, I believe. I think no, it was never mind. I didn't get that one. I got the which one was it? The Division, not the Division. It was the other game like that. I can't remember what it's called. Or Times inclusive. The God of War has always been. It's just strictly exclusive. It's not just like temporarily exclusive. It's gonna be for a while. Yeah, but I still think like a lot of the games are going to be exclusive to PlayStation 5. I mean, I think PC builders, again, those who are not convinced that they want a PlayStation or they want a PC, I think the consoles are going to be really intriguing because I think the hardware inside of them is better than we've seen like jump wise in a long time. Now, the problem with consoles is the generations last a very, very, very long time. So by the time you get to the end of the console life, they're way outdated. So they kind of have to be ahead of the curve, kind of say, because in 2 years from now, they're going to be way outdated. You know what I mean? And they can't just reboot. You can't reboot a console in 2 years. That's basically insane. If God of War is going to be time exclusives, Matt, or time exclusive? If it is, that kind of changes my whole thought because I know I was I was going to I was considering getting the PS5 eventually, just due to the fact that I wanted, the Xbox Series or the Xbox X, Xbox One X, and the PS4 Pro were just like reboots. They refreshed them. It's not like they were that much more impressive than the originals. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I guess they could reboot it. It would be a good idea. It would be a good idea for them to reboot them more often. Um, just in general, you know what I mean? I think the Switch is a good idea. I mean, everybody should have a Switch, in my opinion. Switch is the best console out of all of them. I would like to have a little bit more powerful Switch. That'd be cool. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's good competition. That's basically how I feel about it. Because the next story that I grabbed was the Rocket Lake, which is the 10th gen or the 11th gen. I think it's the 11th gen Intel core, not the 10th gen or 10th gen. Oh yeah, it's the 11th core. So like 11th gen, um, Rocket Lake is going to be coming out. It's supposed to be first quarter 2021. It's not PCIe 4. Again, this is more competition for the console. It's more competition for AMD, and it's more competition for NVIDIA. I guess technically not NVIDIA, but it's good for us in general because most people would just be able to with more competition, you get more people looking for yeah. I don't know. I'm rambling here. I have to figure out a better way to set this all up because I have my laptop right here, and I'm looking right here to talk to you guys. This doesn't work how I imagined it would. What are you up to, Matt? Did you get your video done that you planned on doing or planned on shooting? And where did you go? Well, anyways, we'll move on. Um, so, as some of you guys might know, the big things tomorrow. No postpone. It wasn't in the. It wasn't the movie. Oh yeah, sometimes it's nice to play games. I want to play some. I've been playing Madden a lot. I don't know why. Madden 2020, not the 2021, the new one that just came out. I've enjoyed playing that. I'm gonna be getting back into WoW in the next couple weeks once they release the pre-patch, so I'm excited for that. And then obviously I'm keeping up with all like the latest news. Like tomorrow, this is a big one. Tomorrow this is gonna be announced. This is Zen 3. This is what I was telling I think Michelle, Brian's wife, I believe it is. I was telling her earlier, they want to build their son a PC, and it's like the worst time. Tomorrow they're literally going to be announcing Zen 3, which is the 5000 series, and supposedly the 5000 series chips are going to be 15% faster. So the 5900X in particular, this is the 12 core 24 thread replacement for the chip I have, which is the 3900X, is going to be 15% faster in multi-core, and it's going to be 25% faster in single threaded tests, which is going to be huge when it comes to competition towards Intel. So like Intel, if they don't release something that if this is true and it's 25% faster in single threaded tasks, this will certainly the 5900X will certainly be faster than anything Intel has to offer when it comes to gaming and stuff. me. So if that's true, then we're likely to see a really, I mean, it's going to be a really interesting turn of events because Intel is going to be forced to, I don't know, they're going to have to produce something because they've not produced something for what seems to be forever. And if they don't, um, I mean, it's just, I don't know if AMD would inflate prices like Intel did back when the FX series was so bad compared to like what Intel had to offer, like when I got my 4790K. But they could if they have no competition. I mean, why wouldn't AMD? I mean, they're in the business to make money, so it's not like they're in the business to be nice to us, even though they have been kind of fan favorites since they've come back and actually had since Zen the original Zen came out. They've kind of been fan favorites and they've kind of been kind to the consumer in general with good competitive prices. But now that they're in the lead, if they take this jump right here that supposedly is going to happen, the 15% in multi and 25% in single core or single thread tasks, maybe AMD is going to inflate prices. I would hate to see that, but I've seen Intel do it, I've seen Nvidia do it, and that's what companies do when they have the lead. They'll inflate prices because make more money, be able to produce more better processors. I wouldn't necessarily mind if they did a little bit, like a little inflation of their prices, just for the fact that they took that money and they put it back into their graphics division. I would love to see the Radeon, the future Radeon graphics cards actually be able to consistently compete with Nvidia, which has been a massive issue. If you've been following along, it's been a massive issue for them to deal with, and just in general. So anyway, having this kind of performance boost would be huge. I'm excited to see the press release tomorrow. I'm going to be watching it. I'm probably going to make a video for Friday based on the announcement, just to kind of recap it all. So keep your eyes open for Friday and the video on that. And then I'm hoping that it's supposedly it could even possibly, where's this one right here? I think it's right here. Yeah, so it can be supposedly it's going to be released as early as October 20th, which is only 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away, which would be huge to see actually be launched that quickly. And if that's the case, I would love to pick one of these up and test it out for just testing purposes. I would love to see it. What I'm even more excited about, and I was telling Brian's wife or Michelle this earlier, I would love to see the 3600 and the 3700X drop dramatically in price. If they're launching it for the same prices as those chips came out with, or came out at, I should say, there's no reason why those ones wouldn't just tank in price over the next few weeks, especially if it's coming out October 20th. There's gonna be tons of people who want to get these chips sold out, especially if it performs as well as they're saying it does. So that could be a really cool, really nice thing for anybody who wants to build a PC right now. Again, it's gonna come back to that thing I was saying earlier, like holiday sales. We might see some of the best holiday sales on CPUs. Oh, my camera is saying it's heating up. Can you guys still see me? Oh, it's not that. It can't be that heated up then. Hold on 1 second. We're back. All right. Sorry. I opened a window to help decrease the temperature in this room because it does get really hot with my computers that I have in here. I have a server and I have my desktop. That's it heats up real quick, and this room's the hottest room in the house. But now you guys get to listen to the cars fly down my road. So hope you guys enjoy that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so like right now is like a really bad time to build, but in the next like month or so, I think it's gonna be one of the best times to build. You're going to see competition from AMD, or the upgrade of AMD CPUs. We'll see the big Navi chips coming out, which is this tab right here. And I'll talk about the Infinity Cache in a second, but you'll see the big Navi chips coming out, which is the competitor to the 3000 series that just came out as well. My hope is that the big Navi actually performs as good as the 3000 series RTX cards. My fear is that we've heard that AMD chips were going to perform as good, and it's been time and time again that they just didn't perform as good as they should have, which kind of stinks. So I have my doubts, especially seeing some of these features. Like supposedly it's going to have a 256, or they're going to be using GDDR6, which is a lot slower than not like much slower, but it's slower than the 6X, which the RTX 3000 series chips use. And it's only going to have a 256-bit bus, so that alone might bottleneck the chips, and that's where the Infinity Cache comes in. Supposedly, the Infinity Cache is supposed to be there to help kind of help assist with like higher bandwidth and such to improve performance and not bottleneck the actual GPU during higher resolution gaming like 4K or 1440p and such. We'll see what it comes out. That comes out later this month. That's the main date I'm actually really excited for, is October 28th, which is, again, the announcement for RDNA 2. I'm actually kind of happy that AMD went with the option of releasing it on 2 different days. So last year when they released Zen 3, they also released the RTX 5700 XT and 5700, which for reviewers, for a lot of people who were getting them, they basically stated it was a nightmare due to the fact that they didn't have enough time to, do a proper testing on half the stuff they had. So I'm glad they did that, because then now people can do thorough testing through the CPU series, like the new CPUs that are coming out, and then they can do thorough testing when the GPUs come out as well, and we can get some really, accurate testing. The biggest thing I've noticed is like when it comes to the GPU testing on the RTX series, like the 3080 and 3090, there wasn't a lot of testing with lower end CPUs, which I know my audience really, people who watch my videos a lot, they ask a lot of questions about, hey, is the RTX 3080 going to bottleneck, or is the 3600 going to bottleneck the 3080, which for those of you who don't know what a bottleneck is, basically think of the neck of a bottle. So if you take this right here, so for those of you who don't know what bottlenecking is, it's out of focus, but you have like this right here, and only so much liquid can get through the bottle, right? So a bottleneck is that basically that's the case. The power of the GPU can't flow process, or the CPU is too slow, and the neck is too short or too small, so the GPU can't process. It can't go as fast as it should be able to go because of that fact, which everybody's concerned about now. There's bottlenecks in everything. You have bottlenecks caused by resolution, all sorts of stuff. So it's all about trying to figure out what's best. You know what I mean? For your combo, and there's like almost no coverage on like the lower end CPUs with the 3080. There's a little bit of coverage, but there's not enough. I think a lot of people would appreciate getting more coverage on the 3080. That's why I wanted to pick it up in the first place, so I could test it with the 3600, maybe the 3100, 3300X, the 1600 AF, seeing kind of how those processors deal or handle the RTX 3080. 3090 is too expensive, so there's absolutely no way I'd want to purchase that at all. So, oh boy, what? Oh no, my camera just shut off. Oh, my camera overheated, guys. How did it overheat? That's a bummer. Is it that hot in this room? Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix it. How'd this even overheat? Room cannot be that hot. Oh. So do any of you guys, you guys aren't seeing anything, are you? Oh yeah, you guys are seeing my hold on. Whoop, let's turn that off. Just ordered Arctis 3S. Any experience with those? Arctis 3S. Let me look them up real quick while I try to figure out this issue with my camera. Hey there. Is it Farron? How do you say your name? Farron? Farron, that's what it is. Arctis. Or Morbid, do you have a link to it? Arctis. Oh, the Arctis 3 headset. I haven't actually messed around with a lot of the Steel Series set. Does anybody else have any which one are you talking about, Farhan? I haven't really messed around with Steel Series products in general. I want to get into Steel Series products. I just haven't had a lot of time to just kind of get into those. Hold on. I'm messing with my camera right now, trying to. There's like a setting in here that you can just turn it on. Let me see if I think Bad Seed Tech. I'm pretty sure he did a review on it. I love his reviews. Oh, yeah, we're both Vons. Is it kind of an old model? Let me look it up. Let me see if I can find a. Hold on 1 minute. Arctis 3S, the Bad Seed. Hold on. I'm working on Von up. There you go. Yeah, there's two of us. I'm VonTech. I'm Brian. Ron. Well, Matt is Matt. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this camera fixed real quick, and then I'll look into it. See if there is a review. It looks like. Well, I'm thinking that he has one because I searched the Arctis 3 and I searched Bad Seed, and it looks like they have a review on the headset. So I'm gonna send it to you in just a second. Basically, anything that I don't review or I haven't reviewed, I always recommend people to go to Bad Seed. He just does a great job, just in general, when it comes to making sure, he covers a lot of good peripherals. He's like one of the best, in my opinion, on YouTube right now. I mean, I like my content, but his content is just really, really. I don't know how he does it. His script writing or whatever he does is just fantastic. Hold on, I'm working on getting this fixed. Why is this overheating here? It is hot in here though. What is the best laptop for gaming? Oh gosh. You're asking a question that's hold on 1 second. I wish I could answer that, Faran. I'd have to do some I'd have to do some research on that. I don't follow I really don't look into gaming laptops all that much. If I'm looking at a laptop for any reason, it's for productivity purposes. But I know I know the components well enough to be able to say, hey, get this laptop over this laptop and so forth. You know what I mean? But I don't. Where's this setting at? But I don't like look into them as much. I don't check them out as much, so I can't tell you off the top of my head, to be completely honest. No clue where this is at. Hmm. It's gonna really depend on what type of budget you have. I think there's some really good models all across the market. I mean, I like the Dell XPS series. I think I've had a lot of issues with Dell in the past, just like for customer service, or like I got a laptop when I went to college and they put the thermal paste on wrong, and since I mess around with computers, um I knew I opened it up because it was running really hot, so I checked it out and it had bad thermal paste on it, so I fixed it, and all of a sudden this thing is quiet as can be. So, but I do like their Dell XPS series. They have a really good. I mean, they have really nice. There's also the LG Gram. That's really nice laptops. Again, it's going to be all based on budget. If you want to spend more or less, the, I mean, I love. Some of you guys might, depending on type of how hardcore you guys are when it comes to PCs and stuff. But I like Macs a lot too. Like the MacBook Pro, they're just great overall laptops. I would still have one if I could afford to pick up another one. To be completely honest, I just love there's good, again, they're just good laptops. Would you say you just bought an Acer? If you want to send it really just depends on what type of laptop you're going to buy. If you go to Black Friday and you buy a cheapo laptop on Black Friday, you're probably gonna have a lot of problems because they're trying to save money. They're trying to cut stuff somewhere, and they do cut stuff somewhere. Um, you know what I mean? Oh, here we are. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me get the camera back on real quick. Oh boy. Let's get this back on. But I like there's some good Acer laptops I've looked at. Again, I think they have the Swift series that's pretty good. Again, I'd have to look at the laptop and I can tell you if I liked it or not. It's kind of one of those things that it's like hold on, let me turn this back. Okay, cool, it's working now. Cool. All right, so now I should be back on the screen. Yeah, Lenovo has some good laptops. I think my favorite right now are probably again, like the Dell XPS. I like the LG Gram too. It looks pretty nice, depending on which one you want. Acer has had good ones in the planning to buy one for gaming. Let me jump into Fran. You're on the Discord, right? Send that question to me in the Discord and just tag me. I'll search online to see kind of like what are available right now, and I'll give you my recommendation from there. I could actually probably pull it up right here too. Hold on. I know it'd be. What's up, Morbid? There is a Discord. We started it last weekend. It's Matt, can you post the link? It actually should be in the description box. Yeah, certainly. There you go. It's open to whoever. It's brand new, so we're just now starting it. But again, any questions you have, any suggestions you have, let us know in there because we want to help and we want to make sure we build a community that can help other people. You know what I mean? That's what my goal is. That's what my goal of this whole channel is to help people. So thanks, Matt. But yeah, if you send that, Ferran, if you send it into the Discord, this way I don't forget, then I'll check out the ones that are available and we can deal with, again, I just don't keep up with the laptop, especially gaming laptops, if anything, because, well, gaming laptops. Who games on a laptop? Just kidding. Here, oh wait, no, what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. Yep. Hold on. Oh my god. Let me look it up on quick. Post it for the Arctis 3. I mean, he has a couple of videos on it. Free head seat. So he has the Arctis 3 on this list. I haven't watched this video yet, but I'll post it anyway. I would trust what he says. Thank you. I'll follow up with that afterwards. I also need to follow up with Michelle too. Tell her different cases. So I have to do both those things before I go to bed. All right, so Morbid, I just posted it in the chat. I would recommend just checking out his to see what he thinks on the Arctis 3. I think he's going to talk about it in that video. I think he does a really good job with a lot of headsets. Keyboards, mice. I know I do keyboards and mice too, but you need a second person to look to. I think Brian Phelps, I think his last name is. He's a great. I mean, you can't go wrong with his content. In fact, I'm actually really excited when it comes to like peripherals and stuff. I have a new keyboard coming in to test out. I'm really excited to test it out. It looks really, really nice. I can't really talk about it, but hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll have a video for that. I'm excited for it. I have a lot of cool content coming out. Let me pull up my content list. Do any of you guys have other questions? That was all the news I had that I was going to talk about, and we kind of just blew through it. But yeah, we have like we're gonna be covering a lot of different reviews. I have CPU cooler reviews coming out. I have some tutorials that are coming out. I have a really nice, cool looking case that I'm really excited to be testing out. I'm getting that Friday, so I'm excited to come out with a video for that. So if you guys are interested in cases, we're gonna be doing reviews on that. I know you got your guys's. I'm sure you guys all vary when it comes to what you guys actually do and what you guys are looking for. I don't know if how many of you guys are looking for actual to build PCs or what. But again, we have a lot of cool content coming out. I have like, I don't even know, like 2 months worth of content filled out on my calendar right now. Friday I'll have a recap of the AMD release press conference, what I think about it, my thoughts, and what I think that we need to see when the actual CPUs come out. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, you do need to get the microphone for me. That's good that you mentioned it because I'm like trying. I've been yeah. I was unpacking a bunch of stuff up and I don't want to have to dig through all of it to give it to you. I don't know which one you'll want to. You can look up to see which ones I have. I have quite a few right now. So can what I have that work for good for you. Is that for? Do you guys have 2 mics for that setup, or do you just have one? Or you use a combined one? Or are you gonna use combined two, or what are you gonna do? Good directional microphone. Just one. Hmm. That's for Sunny's podcast or the Just BS. Also, let me know how long is the delay? I can't tell what the delay is. Is it like no? Oh, you're adding a new shows. Short. What do you mean morbid? Short. Oh, short, no delay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, so the delay must be like I imagine it's probably like 5 seconds long. Oh, it's like 3 seconds. Okay. I'm wondering because I have it on in this, Matt. You'll know better than I do. I have it set to. I don't even know what I have it set to be honest with you. Oh, the Vaughn is right. Okay. I have it on low latency, so I don't know what's best for talking to you guys and stuff like that. I don't know, Matt. You need a no latency, ultra low latency is what I should have it on. All right, I'll use ultra low the next time, just so I can it can be more consistent. I might do the next. I'll probably do the next one over there, sitting on my table with my laptop streaming. I don't know yet. The lower the better. I just didn't know if how stressful it was when it comes to like actually actually outputting everything. So I was like, I guess I'll do this one. Hmm. Well, I'm not worried about necessarily worried about my internet. I just didn't know if it like I don't know. I guess I just wasn't sure like what would cause like what it would do. What the difference was. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure what the actual. I guess I don't know ramifications or whatever. I haven't streamed in forever. I think the last time I streamed was 2016, and that was on Twitch, and everything has changed since that was a thing. I mean, that was like crazy back then. It was so much different. I couldn't even stream at 2,000 megabits or kilobits per second. I had to stream it. That's why I streamed at. I think it was like 2,000 or 1,500. I think is what I streamed at because my internet couldn't handle it because we didn't have the internet. And that was that was probably more like 2014. I think 2015. Yeah, probably 2014. Yeah, it's a lot different. I don't know if I should like. All right, well, welcome, Morbid, to the Discord. If you have questions or anything, feel free to drop them in there. I mean, and again, like I said, hopefully we have like a bunch of different sections in there. There's like some different channels. Like Lemon Picks is like all the channels, like the channels that I typically follow. So that's my brother's channel, which is Vonov 89. So his channel, and when he's I think that gets posted there. My wife and her sister's channel, think Sunny's channel is also on here. And Twitch again for mainly for my brother when he goes live. There's a ton of different stuff. There's gonna be hopefully we'll have like more tech news being just I just want I'm gonna be posting more articles over time if you want to get involved. Yeah, my brother games. I don't know what do you do, Matt? Speed runs? I think he does like speed runs and stuff. I think he's playing Crash Bandicoot 4 right now. I mean, I might make this stream if I'm gonna be doing it weekly. I might make it me gaming while I'm talking to you guys. I don't know completely. I just wanted today was just kind of like a test to see what you guys wanted to talk about. Like if you wanted to talk about tech or you want to talk about like we talked a little bit today about the PlayStation 4, or the PlayStation 5, the new consoles. We talked about the articles that I had, which were whatever. Um, talking about whatever, answering questions that you guys might have for your builds, peripherals, stuff like that. So we'll see how this actually plays out. I'll probably end up playing some games next time. Am I Von number one or is Von 89 number one? Because the reason why I asked that is because Matt's older than me, and growing up he was always just a straight Von. I was always the B Von, and now I don't know what I am. I'm the VonTech. Yes, I'm Von number one. Okay, that's good to know. I'm Von number one. You see that, Matt? Minecraft. But speaking of Minecraft, I've wanted to get into it. My son, I have a 7-year-old son, and he's actually wants to buy it. He wants me to buy it for him. So yeah, I was low line for a while too. He wants me to buy it for him, so maybe I'll get it and I'll play. I just never could get. I'm the golden child. No freaking way. There's no way. Maybe I am. I'm so confused right now. Yeah, Bryce wants to play. My son Bryce wants to play Minecraft. I want to get into it, but it just seems really, really difficult. I know that sounds weird to say because I know a lot of people think it's so easy, but I really do think that it's a lot more difficult than. I never gave it enough time. I played Terraria, which was. If you've never played Terraria, it's like $5 on Steam. Let me check how much it is right now. It's one of. Hold on. Look it up. I think of what it's called. I just said it. Terraria. That'd be cool. We could set up. I don't know how to set that up. Do you know how to set that up? So it's $10 right now. Terraria is. If you haven't played Terraria, you need to play it. It's like the best game ever. Like not the best game ever, but it's one of my favorite games that I've ever played. How many hours I have locked in this? I only have 84 hours played. But I had 2 accounts. I had 2 Steam accounts because when I streamed, back in whatever year it was, I used to stream Terraria like all the time. I used to do it. I used to play it all the time, but I played on a different account that I could play with viewers. I don't know how that even worked. I was nervous of people knowing my Steam account, I guess. It is exactly that. It's 2D Minecraft with more mobs. Yeah, we'll have to. I wonder how hard that would be. Maybe we could set up. I know Linus Tech Tips just set up a Minecraft server, so that'd be kind of cool to set up a Minecraft server. I just don't know like what the requirements would be. I don't know if he actually has a video on it. If he does, maybe I'll look into that to see if I can put together Minecraft server because that'd be kind of cool for us all to play. Just like during these we could talk about new tech stuff and then we could just jump into some sort of game and play together. The code more we can. I mean, I'm up for whatever anybody wants to do. If we want to mess around that kind of stuff, I'd be excited to do that. I mean, just get my mind off of just strictly work related stuff. If people would be interested in that, I know it sounds like Minecraft, the server for Linus's servers actually seems pretty active from what I heard. I don't know what's the difference between Bedrock and Java. Bedrock is the newer version, I believe. So it's just Java is in Java code, Bedrock is in C++. Okay, so it's just the better coded one. Worse multiplayer makes sense. How would you? I haven't coded in a long time. I used to code. When I was in college, I took some coding classes. I actually really enjoyed it. Okay, so better mods, skin packs. That's all on. What is the one that has the RTX? Is that Bedrock? I'd imagine it would be. Yeah, I need to get back into coding. I used to love doing it. Okay, so that is Bedrock. Then that's the one I would want to play because, once I get my RTX 3090 Ti, I'm gonna be doing ray tracing on Minecraft with 57 FPS. But I would like to see, I mean, it just looks so pretty looking, playing games like that on RTX. I mean, as much as it is a gimmick, ish, I think I think it could be really cool for the future. It's not going to really impact like us, like the consumers, as much. Besides the fact that it's going to impact like developers, I really think, because I think developers by using RTX, once everything can actually have RTX, I think it's going to really help developers cut down on time so they can focus on making stuff look nicer or making the gameplay better and stuff like that. Okay. I'll have to look into that, Morbid. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know a whole ton about it. I tried to get into it a long time ago, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't get myself really to play. I guess I don't know. Maybe because I just like Terraria better, and I didn't give it a fair enough chance. That's why actually what more than anything, I played Terraria, and I was like so much better. Did you play any other games? Okay. Thing. Is that just because of the extra mods and stuff? Oh, you play Roblox. Cool. Do you have any like maps that you do? Or like, do you have any example maps? Could you send them? I wonder if my son's played them because he plays a lot of Roblox. That game has been around like just like Minecraft. It's been around forever. I remember being in high school, and I never heard of the game before, and I was at like this like I don't know someone's birthday party or something, and we're sitting around a fire, and I met somebody's cousin. He's like, do you play Roblox? And I'm like, I have no clue what Roblox is. And he explained it to me, and I was like, well, that sounds kind of cool. And then I downloaded it and I started playing it, and my computer for some reason couldn't play it. The one that I had, or it had issues. I don't know why it had issues, but that was such a long time ago. And it wouldn't play it very well. And I was like, this game looks lame. But now I see Bryce playing it all the time, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, pretty interesting. Ooh, you hear that crack? That was I, I really like Total War. I think that's my probably my favorite series of games. Total War games current bit rate. That was right before the stream. Looking at all these like different stats on here, trying to understand what this means. Enable auto start. So I imagine if it's auto start, as soon as I press the go live, it automatically goes live for OBS. Same with auto stop. I've dropped, says I have dropped 0.0% frames, but then it says 64 frames. This is utilizing 1% of my CPU. Oh, that 99%. Anyway. All right, I think that's about wrapping it up for tonight. If anybody else has questions, um, feel free to join the Discord and ask any questions you might have in the Discord. The AMD release for Zen 3 is out tomorrow, so I'll have a video on Friday for you guys, kind of going over what I think about that. I'll go tackle the question that you had, Farhan, and then I'll also tackle the question that Michelle had as well. Make sure they have those answers as well. But anyway, for anybody who came through, thank you so much for swinging in and watching. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future live streams. I might be playing some games just to kind of keep it from being kind of boring, I guess. But just let me know what you guys want to see in the future live streams. I might do one next week. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of test the waters right now, see who's actually interested in it. I don't know if people actually are missing this because I think the debate's going on right now too. So that could be a reason why some people are missing it, or I don't know. It depends on what people are actually wanting to watch and stuff. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for swinging in. I appreciate it. I will I'm gonna be ending the stream now. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.